Hello everybody, it's Holly from Besotted Orchids. Thank you so much for joining me today. You can see the sun coming in on my orchids. It just looks so pretty, so I thought I would film, and I hope it's not going to wash it out too much. I wanted to show you these orchids in particular that I gathered together because they just really say spring to me. All of these just say spring is on the way, which we need because here in Ohio we are I think a high of 15 whopping degrees today. Very, very cold. But look at this. Here's another pic of my Renee Marquet Tyler. Very, very pretty. And my voice is very gravelly today. I'm suffering allergies, so Flonase, the whole works, the doctor said. Fun. It's either my orchids or my dogs, which is not the orchids. Orchids don't have the pollen, so I'm pretty sure it's my dogs. But here is the green lantern dendrobium, red carpet. Really, really a pretty orchid. Francine Burragara rose glow. Nice yellow center in that. And you can see with a little bit of the light coming through that the petals, they kind of glisten. They almost sparkle. Very, very pretty. Now, none of those except the Francine has a scent, and it's lightly scented. When you drop down here to the Paragon Honey Butter, it does have a scent. Really nice little scent. This is one that you've seen before if you watch my videos, and you will see again because I believe I have 2 of these plants, at least 2. And I enjoy them, so I'm just going to keep them. I don't have a problem having doubles of some plants. Like this one here. Here we go. Here is one that I have a double of that I wasn't. Well, I didn't necessarily need a double of because the plant is doing so well, the other one that I have. But this was a Groovy Plant Ranch, no ID. In fact, I am seriously considering a trip down there today. It's bitterly cold here, but they do have new orchids in. So it'd be nice to take a little video in the hot, steamy greenhouse. And this one is very, very heavily scented. It smells like baby powder to the degree that sometimes I really don't want it near me. I'm not a baby powder fan. And this one really, really has a lot of a baby powder fragrance, which is odd because the other one in my collection does not really say baby powder. It is more of a manly type cologne. So I really don't mind that one. But this one, with the baby powder, oh, not so much. It's a little cloying. And I did show you Renee Marquet Tyler. I can't show you that one enough. It really, really is a very, very pretty orchid. And as I said in a previous video, over 2-year wait for this because I did buy it as a seedling from Carmela. Very, very pretty. I mean, look at the lip on that. Wow. See the little ruffles down at the bottom, the little fringe? It's just such a pretty orchid. Hieroglyphia. Let me see if I just zoom it in for you. Here in the back. Very pretty orchid. And that has a very slight scent. You would not buy that one for the scent. If you get a hieroglyphia, it's just because you enjoy the color. Over here, Benosa Key Lime. It's a Brassicattleya. It actually has a very heavy scent in the nighttime. So if I'm up over here quilting in my chair here or reading late at night, I can smell it. And sometimes I do cart it up to bed with me. I put it on the bedside table. Very, very pretty orchid. And my little man that my son insists has to live in my orchid area. In the succulents over there. And once again, this beautiful, beautiful orchid. No ID, another Groovy Plant Ranch. Those people down there are walking away with your tags. They're just walking away with them. But look at that. Sometimes it's nice to have a surprise and you don't know what it's going to be. You just hope that you are pleasantly surprised by it. That's the main thing. You need to be pleasantly surprised. It can't be, oh, yeah, I don't really care for that one. See my ugly outside. Everything is so ugly today. It's all so muddy and frozen. And I found ice cubes my husband dumped out of a cup in his car. just ice cubes laying in the ground because they're not going to melt. But here is my newest orchid, and my mind is trying to go back to what it is. Tricopilia. It's a tricopilia fragrance. Let me see if it's going to clear up so you can see the bloom better. But this one will be opening any day now. Oh, it wants to focus on the screen. It's a terrible habit it has. It wants to focus on the screen behind instead of the plant. There we go. Come on. But they are so close to opening. I don't know what it's doing. It just does not want to focus on this one plant. But in a couple of days, it will be open, and it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be white with an absolutely beautiful yellow center and highly fragrant. Over here, one that it wanted to focus on more. Look at the aerial roots on that. That is the only orchid I have that is more of a blue. This is the Vanda Delight. Pachara Delight. Sorry, excuse me. It's a Vandaceous orchid, a little smaller variety, and it is going to be very, very close to a blue. It has not bloomed for me as it did come from Carmela, again, as a seedling. A lot of my orchids did come as seedlings from him. Saved a lot of money, and oh my gosh, my dog is in trouble. I am looking out my window, and I can see insulation. Obviously, when she was out this morning, she tore the insulated cap off of our outside spigot. Oh my gosh, that'll have to be cleaned up before my husband comes home. Or Miss Lilibet is going to be in trouble for yet another act of violence against something. She's ruining his hats. Oh my gosh, she's ruining his hats. She's ruining his gloves. She's ruining anything she can get her little self a hold of. I want to show you this. You can, I'm going to set this down so I can zoom in. This is my Psychopsis Mendenhall. Big, beautiful leaves. And this latest leaf here, this large one, was grown on my watch. Very happy about that. I'm going to zoom in so you can see this. If it'll focus right there in the middle, might not focus on that. There is a root coming down, which is very exciting to me because I have read that these orchids struggle greatly with repotting. They do not want to be repotted. And this one seemed to take perfectly well to repotting. It was so root bound. There were roots coming out the bottom of it. So I did take a risk. There's my root. I did take a risk and I repotted it, and I am happy to say I see a root coming down very, very soon after repotting. Here's another one blooming. This is my cherry dance. This one does smell like cherries, and it came from Groovy Plants also. That's just my nearest greenhouse that I can go to, and I can walk in and I can actually look at the orchids in person. And I might pay a little bit more. Well, I do pay a little bit more for the orchids there versus Sheldon over in Carmela. But it's kind of nice once in a while to have a in-person purchase where you are just, hey, I really like that one. I'm going to take it home today. So every now and then I don't feel horribly guilty about driving down there, especially if we're already going down to the zoo. Oh my goodness, I am going to be out in my yard in 15-degree weather, cleaning up insulation. Oh, it's blowing everywhere. These are a few of my Cattleyas that live here in the eastern window. And I am going to do a repot on this because it really is outgrowing its pot. But they sit here so they can really soak up the sunshine. And I don't think the Cattleyas mind being too terribly near the window in the wintertime. I haven't seen them struggling much. They're still putting on a lot of new growth. So I think they're going to be fine. I'm trying to think what I have in the other room. The majority of my plants do grow in the living room. I'm trying to think what is coming in spike right now. Oh, I have several Phalaenopsis spiking that will be blooming shortly. various things. I can't wait for the Neophonicias to bloom this year. I want to show you the falcatas again, and I also have not seen, personally, I have not seen my pink falcata bloom. So I'm excited to see that one. That's going to be very, very pretty, and I hope it does it this year. Both of my Neophonecia falcatas came from Hauserman Orchids out in Illinois. So I think that is it. You can see what orchid I want to end on for you today. This one, while it's still in bloom, is just so, so pretty. So thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate you all. Please like, share, subscribe, and above all, enjoy those orchids.